You were listening to Charting Cryptos, Commodities, and Currencies. Let's jump into the 24-hour-a-day Bitcoin chart. As we talk, you can see how price will continue to change a little bit because, again, this market's traded around the world 24/7. And let's look at where we are on Bitcoin. Right now showing up 2.03% for the day. We can see crazy volume last week as it reached a peak of $93,483 this week, even higher, $94,057. And of course, as we look at the charts, we can see that volume is way off as we record this for you on Tuesday. We look at the two-day chart, and again, this is the Monday, Tuesday, two-day chart. The prior high we see there at 93,483, and of course during the course of this latest two-day candle up to 94,057. Decent volume there. You can see on the 195-minute chart where things had been sliding sideways and down a little bit through Monday evening around 7 p.m. and then when that 195-minute candle ended and the new candle started around 8:15, the market has just continued to surge up. The real surge happened this morning starting around 11:15. This afternoon, slowing down some. But again, Bitcoin just continuing to build, and we'll see just how high it's going to go until it reaches a plateau like we've seen happen before. Then it rolls sideways, maybe down for a little while, and then takes off again. But you can tell that Bitcoin sure liked President Trump. You see on the two-day chart where things had been tracking down, and then after the election starting on that next morning, the 6th, things really took off. What about Ethereum? It's down for the day right now, 3.63%. Ethereum also popped up with Trump, but then it slowed down significantly after the Tuesday, Wednesday. That was the 12th and 13th of November. And since then, just dojis sliding along sideways here without a lot of action. I mean, you can see all the energy over that weekly candle on Monday the 4th, that weekly candle beginning on Monday the 11th, and then the weekly candle beginning Monday the 18th. We opened lower than the prior close. That's what the red volume means. It doesn't mean negative volume. But you can see there's not a lot of volume so far. You can see on the two-day chart, as we have had things slide sideways, tending down, the volume stepped off a great deal. Hasn't hit average volume since. That well above average volume on the Tuesday, Wednesday, the 12th and 13th of November. So again, we will keep an eye on Ethereum. Now, when we look at BITW, that is Top 10 Crypto Index Fund, Top 10 cryptocurrencies weighted as per market share, Bitcoin being the big dog. And of course, it is looking nice this week as it looms even higher. Now, again, when it started moving up, this is interesting and curious. You know, we had down movement through the 16th of September, the week beginning then. Then on the 23rd, we saw some green. The next week, the 30th of September, we saw a doji. Then green again on the 7th of October, and it's just been building since then. And look at all the volume, average volume all the way along, almost already to average volume now, just 2 days into this week. So crazy. Look at the two-day volume. I mean, it has just been spiking. When we look at the Trump effect here, we can see that, you know, if you look at the high, $44.50 on that Wednesday, Thursday candle, $44.50 the high, $57.96 in just those few days on the two-day chart. Is that just not crazy? Yes, it is crazy, and it's good. Right now up 1.18%. Now let's move on and check out a few commodities. We're going to take a look at sugar. Sugar had been tracking down this week, trying to turn around. It is down a little bit for the day, but we have gone into the green and pushed through what, if you can call that much of a trend line. Last week, though, lots of volume and down movement. This week, trying to turn around. What's up with corn? You know, a lot of the world, you've got corn is used in feedstocks, corn is used in ethanol, corn is used in corn syrup, and all sorts of things for human consumption too. What's it done? Well, it looked like it was trying to take off over the last 2 weeks, and then this week, just a doji here, down for the day 0.41%, a red doji at that on both the weekly and the 2-day. We can see 2 days trying to move up, and then in the afternoon on Tuesday, moving down, never managing, to push through that prior trend line where it dropped through it last week on Thursday, and then trying to move back up. Copper, used a lot of industrial processes. What's up with it? Another down week. It had been tracking down since the week beginning the 14th of October, really surged down last week, and again is another negative week for copper, up a little bit for the last 2 days. What's up with silver? Last 2 days on silver too are up days, and again, most of that movement happened on Monday the 18th and just sort of tracking around sideways, trying to move up a little more. Again, after a strong down week last week in silver. Now, again, we saw where we had the interim high back on the 21st of October. Then we had a green spinning candle, green spinning top with average volume that next week, the 28th, and then things started moving down. But again, not our setup that we like, not anything that would cause us to pull the trigger on silver. But we did see that team up as gold was going down, like we talked about before, copper going down. So we'll keep an eye on silver. It hasn't pushed through the weekly trend line on any of these charts, half day, 2-day, or weekly. So we'll see. Maybe silver move down, sort of digesting those downward moves, and will start up again. Let's look quickly at natural gas. What's up with nat gas? 5 weeks of down movement. Last week tried to turn around with lots of volume. This week up for the day 0.87%. Another little green candle. Again, volume, it's okay so far. Nice volume last week, but not a lot of price movement. So we'll keep an eye on nat gas. And wheat, again, another feedstock and human stock as far as food goes. Big down week last week, not reaching that low this week, but price is well below the weekly trend line on the 2-day. We can see where the half day on Friday afternoon started moving up, pulling back a little bit at the end of the day on Tuesday, still below the weekly trend line on the weekly, the 2-day, and the half day. That's where we are with commodities. Lastly, we will take a look at some world currencies. What's up with the British pound? Of course, we saw the pound rocketing up for several weeks, and that slowed back on the week beginning the 23rd of September, and then the last week beginning with September the 30th, a big doji, and then things have been tracking down since then. Hasn't hit the low of last week yet this week, but again, lots of downward pressure on the pound. We can see it in all the charts. We look at where we are on the euro. Big down week last week. Again, we talk about the Trump effect knocking up our market, knocking up Bitcoin. It knocked down the euro, just hammered it. So very fascinating, just blasting down. Down for the day, 0.01%. Saw where things popped up a little bit on Monday and then sort of leveling off, and like I said, down a little bit. What's up lastly? We'll take a look at the yen. The yen had a big down week last week. And again, we can go back to the Trump effect. We can see it there too on the 2-day candle. You can, of course, see it here on the half-day candle too, where things really zoomed down hard on Wednesday. Popped up Thursday and Friday, then down again strong on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of last week into Thursday, popped up on Friday, and then just sort of sliding sideways since then. Of course, the Bank of Japan's doing what they can do to try to keep the price of their currency down for what all the experts say is export reasons. That is where we are as we wrap up charting commodities, charting cryptos, and charting currencies. So hope you like it. We always love to hear from you. I love sort of branching out like we do about midweek or so every week and look at these other types of ETFs. They're fun to look at and track. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth.